And welcome to a really wet Wednesday. Got to say it with all the W's. Yes, it is Wednesday at the time of recording at the moment, but that doesn't matter because we do this on a weekly basis. We, of course, being me, Melanie Walker, here in Johannesburg, where it's lovely, lovely rain, and Jennifer Baxter, who is sitting in on Tibes in France, looking a little chilly. Is it a bit cold over in Europe at the moment, Jenny?
Hey Mel, hi. It is. It's sunny here, but my kids have been sending me. It's -5 in Paris. It's -4 in London, and I think it's going to be 1 degree tomorrow here. So it's pretty awful, which is also why it's so hard in Turkey at the moment.
Oh,
Turkey
gosh,
Syria.
how awful is that? Oh, my nerve.
So awful. I think the latest statistic is 8,700 people have been lost by the earthquakes, and the snow is, hampering rescue efforts. The freezing cold. On the sort of the good news front, though, is just typically Gift of the Givers has already sent their people. I think 32 of them flew in the last 24 hours over to Turkey. And Kasim Borat, he's one of the guys who we've interviewed before. He's amazing, volunteer, works in Soweto normally, doctor, and he was part of the vaccine research that was done in South Africa. But anyway, he just said, keep us in your prayers and thoughts, and it's the best of mankind are those that serve mankind.
Absolutely.
Just a reminder there.
Wouldn't it be nice if politicians took that to heart? It just shows that the majority of politicians are really, I'm saying the majority of politicians, are really not good people because they don't care about the people that they're supposed to be serving. So that less said about them.
They're kind of narcissists, aren't they? They sort of, and a few psychopaths sprinkled in as well. Haven't you got SONA tomorrow?
I'm boycotting it, and I think the rest of the country should be boycotting it too. We should not be switching on our radios and should not be switching on our TV because of load shedding. We should, there's just going to be this gross over-exuberance of people in really bad, expensive clothing walking on a red carpet. It's absolute nonsense. It was a wonderful piece that was written, who was it that wrote it? Was it Rico from Madame and Eve? I can't remember who. I saw it on Facebook yesterday, going that, really the press should actually be completely ignoring all of this, not taking photographs of the red carpet, not going, look at these people. We all look at them and think you're a bunch of wallies. And just saying, we have done enough, that you people are not doing anything for our country. Don't expect us to look at you and think, oh, look how good they look on the red carpet. This is not a red carpet event, okay? No, this is serious stuff where you as politicians should be actually sitting there and wearing black for the demise of our wonderful country. That's all I'm going to say about SONA.
Did you see this week we actually shared a video that has gone viral of a paramedic and her message to President Ramaphosa, where she basically swore in the end. But she just detailed, because Sky News in the UK, and which is broadcast internationally, interviewed her along with a couple of other people about the impact of load shedding in South Africa on the medical community. And, even if they do allow the hospitals to stay on, to continue having electricity, which not all hospitals have. So you have babies who can't be incubated and who pass away tragically, and this lady said how difficult it is. They're stuck in traffic because of the traffic lights, the robots not working.
Oh, I'm going to send you a video I shot on my way here this morning of, once again, a homeless guy directing the traffic at the corner of Republic and Jan Smuts Avenue, because it is an absolute dog show, and it becomes even worse when it's raining like it is in Johannesburg at the moment. But it's true, and apart from the fact that the paramedics are having to deal with such bad circumstances where they get held up at gunpoint, when they're going to go and try and help people, which is absolutely unacceptable. Then there was a story in one of the knock and drops yesterday about the state of, they've managed to get the Charlotte Maxeke hospital kind of running again. besides the parking problems. But then they realized how much copper cabling has been stolen, and they're putting it down to the fact they're actually going after the security company who's supposed to be stopping all of this happening. It hasn't really affected the operation schedule, but I mean, we're talking about millions of rands worth of infrastructure being stolen from supposedly our flagship hospital in our country. So it's about time that people stop this. Just because the government acts like looters and thieves doesn't mean that everybody else should as well.
Did you see I'm with you. Did you see the photo of the guy at a hospital stealing copper cables, whatever, and he got stuck in the ceiling and had to be rescued?
Well, I hope they arrested him and threw him into the darkest depths of hell. Quite frankly,
but
that's unacceptable.
Okay. It does remind me when you say, sorry, I was sort of getting thrown into hell there. It does remind me, though, former Springbok captain Jean de Villiers. We've got a story that he, in Paarl, at a shop, he managed to track down a shoplifter. The guy sort of snuck out the shop and he went after him, and as soon as the guy saw, he ran, and Jean ran, got him, took him back to the shop.
You're going to try and outrun Jean de Villiers, one of the fastest wingers ever. And dude, are you crazy?
Yeah. So it's interesting what you say about, just because the politicians steal doesn't mean you should steal. So I understand part of what happened there, and that somebody who's stealing should. I just found the story a little bit sad. The guy had been stealing sweets. So I'm thinking, either he's really hungry and wants some sweets, or he's got children. And if somebody's stealing sweets, yes, we should track them down, but wouldn't it be nice if we said, oh, can I buy you some? You don't need to. You know what I mean? There's something else amiss. That's not a hardened criminal, although I know, you start small, you get bigger.
We've got to look at
I'm not sure how I feel.
We've got to look at the fact that the fish rots from the top, from the head. That's where it goes to. Okay, so let's look at all the happy stuff. I mean, look, I'm always going to have a go at the fact that these people are not actually doing what they've been basically are being employed to do, which is actually serve the nation. They're not; they're just serving themselves, and that really gets my goat. So it's up to the citizens of the country to actually do the work that they should be doing, which is why homeless people direct the traffic when the traffic lights are out.
and also, it's not even just the citizens of the country that are doing the work, but also the people who live abroad now. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to South Africans abroad who stepped in the last week. Lisa Ashton, former BBC presenter, who now has this amazing Mambaso Foundation in South Africa. We've spoken about before. They look after orphan children, but now they even look after grannies. But they don't just look after them, they inspire them, educate them, take them to cultural events, change their lives, vegetable gardens, etc. Anyway, one of their ladies was living in a shack with her 5 children a week ago. Because of load shedding, we may have spoken about this, there was a terrible surge when the power came back on. Her shack caught fire and her youngest baby died. And so Lisa sent out a call for help to build a new home for her and furniture and everything. And I'm just so grateful to SA people, readers, listeners, thank you, who have helped. And last night, Lisa sent us a fantastic message of gratitude to all of you. And the house has been built already, and today they're getting the furniture.
Fantastic.
So,
that's really
making
good.
a difference. So thank you.
There are certain things that make things happy. And I mean, especially hearing about the good things that other people do for others. And then, of course, the one thing that I woke up, didn't wake up to this morning because I saw it yesterday, was the person who we talk about so often, Bokke. And, the fact that they won the best global music performance with the song by Ete. Yeah, at the Grammys. So that is Zakes Bantwini, Nomtrebo and Bokke. which it's just absolutely fantastic. I'm so chuffed about that. One thing I did see, though, people were sitting and going, "Oh, Trevor Noah is so awful," and that was mainly South Africans. I don't know what he did. I haven't watched the Grammy, so I'm not going to weigh in on that. But I'm just really chuffed.
I don't know why they said that. I think it was kind of to do with Harry Styles, and but Harry seemed to be grinning. They said, "Oh, Harry looked uncomfortable." I saw him laughing. But he kind of made some comments about Harry looking even better in the knickers that girls throw at him than they do.
Oh, yeah, because he did do one of those pictures. I know, my kids showed me that stuff.
And he went on about Harry being a sex symbol, and Harry has said he's not comfortable being a sex symbol.
But he is. You can just ask my teenage daughters.
and then did you also see, he also made a joke about Prince Harry's crown jewels being
No.
Yeah, no, he made it.
We
like
have discussed that,
Corden, he said to James Corden, he said, "Oh, now, and here's James Corden, who's proof that you can move from England to the US without having to reveal anything about your
crown jewels."
Yeah.
Well, we can't call James Corden's crown jewels because, he doesn't have jewels and he doesn't wear a crown. Although, hasn't Harry given all of that up anyway? Well, I think he might have done now that he's gone out and done.
Remember, you can
communicated himself from the family.
Remember, you can watch the interview on Showmax. You might just learn something. You never know.
Nope.
Got to give everyone a fair chance. If you're gonna criticize them, at least hear their side.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other.
It sounds like you do.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that, James Corden doesn't have a crown or jewels. So, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I refuse. Je refuse.
Okay.
All right, so now let's get on to rugby, which is the other thing that makes me really happy. Tell me what's happening in the rugby world.
Well, there's a South African expat who made Scotland very proud. He did one of the greatest tries ever at Twickenham, pulled it off, just amazing, a really long run. And people said, he can run through walls. His name is Duan van der Merwe, but they were calling him Mac Duan. And of course, he's got a South African accent. But he qualifies as Scottish because he's been there for 3 years playing for the Edinburgh club. So Scotland beat England thanks to South Africans. And there's others in the team as well. And then if you're in New Zealand, on the 15th of July, the Springboks will be playing the All Blacks. It's been confirmed at a stadium in Auckland.
Okay. Well, that's good. I can't wait. But I'm always kind of torn. What?
No, I have even bigger Springbok news than
good. Go ahead.
No. Do you want to say what you're torn between?
No, I want to hear the big news.
You'll know it. It's that Frans Malherbe got married, and so did Eben Etzebeth. But I think that, but the best thing about Eben's not the best thing about Eben's wedding, but the most viral thing was Siya Kolisi dancing, and I noticed he was dancing actually to Mango Groove's Special Star. So it was a really special South African moment, yeah.
Yep, excellent. That's always a good thing. Always a good thing. Okay, so what else have we got that's good in the news from expats? How's things been going with your daughter in Rotterdam?
Hey, so remember she was speaking to us last week, Cassie Jo, she was speaking to us from the International Film Festival. Well, the movie that she mentioned that Adrian van Wyk had co-directed and produced, whatever, it won the short documentary, short film Tiger Award. An African film, not from South Africa, but still an African film called about Boko Haram, actually won the entire film festival.
Oh, amazing.
And a 360-degree film that was filmed in Woodstock in Cape Town called No Place But Here was absolutely sold out. They had lots of screenings and it was all sold out. Did really well. It's sort of, there are these people in Cape Town who have been evicted and now they've taken over an old unused hospital building. And so what these filmmakers did by doing 360 degree is that they're taking you inside. So it's like you're in there as well, rather than watching a movie where the camera's on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's really helping to break stereotypes. And the filmmakers said that the one interesting thing was they thought that they were taking this movie to Rotterdam to show what was happening in South Africa, but actually people there were telling them that similar things were happening to them. There've been evictions as well in Europe. People are also struggling and trying to find anywhere to live.
We keep saying this. The whole world is a sheet of flame, but let it heat you up. Let it galvanize you. Let's go out there and behave like plants. Give them adverse conditions. They will blossom even brighter. And that's what we can do. All right. So what else have we got in the way that's local good news? And we need lots of good news. As I said, it's raining in Joburg, which is fantastic. We're going to be looking into the fact that we might be going into another El Nino cycle, which means that there will be droughts coming up, so people need to really start learning how to use water wisely and not sit there and say, well, it's been raining, why don't we have any water? Well, the reason you don't have any water is because there's no power to pump the water to your house. It's got nothing to do with lack of water a lot of the time, but I think we might be going into that in a little while. So
and I think down in the Western Cape already, we had a story yesterday that they're already starting to talk again about day zero, which feels like we've just got out of it,
Well, I mean, look, we are going to be going, hopefully, into the rainy season in the Western Cape. The Eastern Cape has just been an absolute nightmare, but I did see that it's been pouring with rain down in Queenstown, or what's it called these days, Komani, with the Bongola Dam over. In fact, there were people saying there's been floods, and hopefully everybody's safe down in that area, so I hope so too, down in the Eastern Cape.
Definitely.
All right, so let's go on to something else with water, by the way. We were talking about sailing last week.
Yes, I don't know what you're referring to.
How did what's his face do on his boat? The singer. We were talking about sailing.
Oh, but he was meant to be getting there today or tomorrow.
Have we not heard whether he has or hasn't?
I haven't.
Okay.
But have you?
No, I haven't. I was just wondering if you had. Because I was wondering,
sorry.
What's his name? What's his name from Just Ginger?
Cool name. Yeah, Just Ginger. I can't remember.
No, oh gosh, that's terrible. We'll have to remember what his name is. I can see his face and can't think of what his name is. It's ridiculous. It'll come to us. Anyway, so let's get on to...
it starts with an A, doesn't it?
Odd. Very odd, Matthews. Yes, right. There we go. Sorry, odd. We got there eventually. The Earthman. There we go.
Yeah. And on news of Mark Pilgrim, I don't know if you saw a very uplifting story. He had posted about how he's getting so skinny and he said, but he still has his mind set on the vision. He's walking on the beach with his beautiful family and their future golden retriever. And golden retriever organization.
Rescue therapy dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the therapy dogs. They're the rescue ones.
Oh, okay.
Golden retriever rescue. They saw this and then they approached Pause for You therapy dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who actually happened to have one of their rescue dogs, a dog called Rudy, I think. And they went around, they contacted the right people, and they went around to Mark Pilgrim's house and had the dogs there playing, swimming in the pool, and, helping the visualization come true.
Oh, lovely.
Which is beautiful. And talking visualization, that's one of the things that, when they won the Grammy Award, when the South Africans won the Grammy Award, one of the producers said, this didn't just happen. We absolutely visualized and made this happen. It was, they talked it into being. So very powerful stuff.
Well,
talking power.
Okay, what are we talking? Or powerlessness.
Talking power, but no, talking power. If you want power and you want to give power to the people, the job of Eskom CEO is now open to apply.
Do you think I could take that on?
You could. Do you have an MBA?
Oh, no.
Because that'll
I
help.
don't know about business. No, but I
Do you
could
have
get it
15
working.
years in senior management?
No.
With your children, yes.
Yes, I've been managing my children for 19 years. No, but I could
about 7
probably
million
get
a
it working
year.
better because I'd I'd go and fire all of the driftwood.
Yeah.
Get people back in who know what they're doing. That would make a lot of sense. All right, so no, okay, so that's not a job option for me. All right, let's go. I'll just stick with
You're
doing
going to
what
have
I
to
can
stay
do.
with me, Mel. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I would still do this anyway. We'd just do it from like flying in a helicopter over the pylons to go and see who's stealing what. By the way, so I was about to say that I was really, really sad and quite envious with all the people with their pictures of going to Sting's concert this weekend in Pretoria, which I didn't manage to get to, which I was so upset about. But there's been so many great things happening. I mean, I saw the pictures of Jesse Clegg, he was the support for Imagine Dragons. And I'm like, okay,
amazing.
I know who Jesse Clegg is and no idea about the Imagine Dragons. Couldn't mention
No
one of their
way.
songs.
Mel, they
No,
have the best songs in the world.
No, Sting does.
best.
Sorry. No, Sting does.
No. Sting did have.
No,
he
still
did.
have.
Yeah, they can be equal. But yeah, Sting was great in the 80s. Whenever.
Excuse me? Sting is still great. Let's not get into this, okay? You're wrong and I am right.
No. I agree. Sting comes here often, you know. We have a jazz festival in Rotterdam, and Sting actually, he loves coming here. So we sit on the beach and listen. So I do love him as well. But Imagine Dragons are insane. You've got to listen to them. You will
I
stand
love
up and
Jesse Clegg. I love Jesse Clegg. His music, every time his songs come on, I'm like, gosh, this is so good. Who is it? And I think, oh my gosh, it's Jesse Clegg. And I really think he's absolutely phenomenal.
He's so phenomenal, and he's so humble and so filled with gratitude. And for a guy that's gone through such tragedy, you know, his dad, losing his dad, and then losing his wife, his partner, and to just see him saying thank you, grateful, and how much he just loved performing. And South Africa was so great and responded so well to him. And talking about South Africans responding well, I don't know if you saw the guy, Rashid Khan, who was the captain of the Cape Town SA20 team. You know, the 2020.
Oh, so those are the hot dogs.
As
As we were saying last week, if anybody,
Oh,
you have to listen to last week to understand what we mean about the hot dogs, okay?
So he was saying that the South African, and so was Kevin Peterson actually, they were just saying that the South African crowds were just amazing. To be playing cricket again to packed grass and whatever. I don't want to say stadiums because it's not always stadiums, but you know, to packed capacity is just awesome. The atmosphere, as Kevin Peterson said, you know, this has been a shot in the arm for the Proteas for the national games as well, matches as well, and
for the people who are watching it, the spectators, because we need this kind of excitement and like getting out of our own heads and being miserable and stuff like that. But anyway,
yeah. Rashid said that he thinks, judging by the crowd reaction, that it's going to become second only to India's Premier League, which is huge, you know.
Okay.
So that's good because it brings the excitement and it brings lots of money. And everybody needs that. Yeah. And he said he'll be back next year and he'll be stronger next year.
Yes. As long as, I mean, wouldn't it be nice if they thought
Joburg.
about that tourism money that they were going to put into England, put it into the cricket here, and then we can actually get power, you know, start using that 1 billion for getting infrastructure worked out, and then people would want to come here and come and watch night games because we would have power for the spotlights.
Yeah. No. Good idea. Good idea. You must tell them.
You see, I should be the head of Eskom. But then people would say, it's a blonde running it, it's going to be renamed Eksdom. Or something like that anyway. Okay, and what have you got here about Leopard Hilton College Estate? What is that about?
It's a wonderful sighting. So, you know Hilton College in KwaZulu-Natal? And you know
yes,
all
I have
the
a friend
people
who
from
lives
the
over
Grammy-
the canyon. Yeah.
Oh, divine. I used to live there. It's beautiful, beautiful.
In fact, I think her family owns most of the land in Hilton, actually, including where Hilton College itself is.
Oh, wow. Well, there's a wonderful nature reserve that is part of the school grounds. And one of the school students noticed a leopard because he often goes into the bush himself. And so he spotted this leopard, told his teacher, and the teacher took photos. And it's really rare. They say if you see a leopard, it's because they want you to see them, because they're normally so secretive and not visible, you know.
You see, now that's the right place for a big cat, okay? In a nature reserve, that's where you find leopards, not tigers running down the streets of Johannesburg. No. It's like the decuplets. What are they called? Those babies that kind of were apparently happening and disappeared. It's the same thing with this other tiger. There was another tiger spotted apparently, but just become a non-story. I don't know. You know, these things happen.
I see that editor resigned finally.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Pete Mampara. No, sorry, Pete. What's his name? Not Mampara. Although we could say that. Okay, what have we got on? Let's get on to something which is more entertaining, which is stuff we can actually watch and be entertained by. What has come up on your radar on the small screen?
Well, there's lots coming up this month, but I thought I'll keep it for next week when it's closer and you're going to remember to watch it, okay? So this week, just a reminder for you and your kids, if they're around, to watch the life and career of rugby legend Rassie Erasmus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched that yet. So that's on Showmax.
I love Rassie.
Okay, so watch that. We'll download it before there's load shedding, and then watch it. And then on Netflix, I don't know if you've watched Pamela, a love story about Pamela
Anderson.
I
saw some people have watched it already, and they've been putting it up thinking they were going to be watching this thing, which is just going to froth and everything, and they were quite pleasantly surprised about what a tough cookie she is. And I mean, she really, for me, it's been... I've always liked her, especially Don't Call Me Babe. You know, I mean, she was a caricature of what she should, and she completely played it. But I've always thought that she's a very savvy person.
You know, she's not only tough and everything, but she's so calm inside. It's just incredible when the documentary ends, and you know she does it with no makeup on. She just is, and when it ends, you're sort of like, oh no. Give me another few hours, you know? Just really, really interesting. So it's definitely worth watching. She's going out there for all the blondes. Fantastic. I'll definitely give that a watch. Okay, and also new and returning subscribers who pay for 1 month of Showmax will receive a second month at no extra cost. So I keep hearing. What happens for those of us who've already got Showmax and they're not going to give us a free month as well? I know, you need
Do I have to leave and come back again?
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, now Superworm.
And then there's also Superworm.
What is Superworm?
It's yet another animated movie. It's for kids. Yet another animated movie based on one of those books by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. You know, they've won so many awards. South African companies have been involved in the animation. And this time it's 2 South Africans who have directed it. And it's already up for Kids Screen Awards this month or next month, and the Annie Awards, which are like the animated awards. And it starts on Showmax on the 9th of February.
Oh, awesome. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that. Although it may be a little bit young for my kids. We'll check it out. Why not? All right, so what have we got coming up on sapeople.com for the next week?
A fantastically celebratory video by a couple of South Africans, Devon and Shavella. They call themselves Dev and Shev. And for the last 3 years, so since the pandemic began, they have been making YouTube videos of South Africans abroad in Asia. And then in the last month, they went home to South Africa. And so it's just wonderful for them to fall in love with and just see their beautiful country again through fresh eyes. It's a real feel good. We've got that. Then we'll be having, obviously, the Mid-Mile results, which is this weekend. I think it's the largest outdoor open-air swimming race in the world.
Yeah, I've got a couple of people who come to my classes who are actually swimming it. I'm like, oh, you're crazy, but I enjoy it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think Mark Fish, the guy, he was a Bafana legend. He'll be swimming it for the 6th or 7th time, raising money for charity.
He's a very naughty boy, but he'd always refer to me as Miss Walker.
You both have names that are nouns. Fish and Walker. I'm very jealous.
I've never thought of that before. Excuse me while I snort. Oh, that's so funny.
And then we've got I hope this is going to have a happy ending story about an Irish nurse who contacted us. She's about to turn 60, and many years ago, like over 30 years ago, she was in South Africa, and it's the only time in her entire career as a nurse that she actually befriended the people that she was taking care of. And it was a South African couple who had already lost one child to a rare genetic disorder, and now she had to nurse the second one. And when she left to go back to Ireland, the family gave her a bottle of wine from their cellar and said, open this when you have a special moment in your life. And she wants to open it on her 60th birthday, and she'd like to get hold of them to tell them that she's never forgotten them, and she held on to that bottle of wine all these years.
Who are these people? How do we get hold of them?
Well, we're going to do the story today. And
and
hopefully we track them down. Yeah,
excellent. Amazing. Okay, no, we will put that out far and wide and see if our wonderful South African population are prepared to help and make a happy ending come true.
Yes.
Oh, Jen, it's been so lovely chatting to you. And the nice thing is I get to do it all again next week. So for those of you who have some fantastic stories or would like to share your stories or photos, please do so on SA People on Facebook, and of course you can get hold of Jenni on sapeople.com, and we're always looking for the good things that South Africans do, whether it's at home or abroad. Jen, we'll catch up with you again next week. You take good care of yourself, give your kids a hug, and stay warm.
Thank you. Lots of love. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll catch you again next week.
Another production from Solid Gold Podcasts.